So you and Shamira aren't friends, I take? In your mind, Shamira's voice answers with an arrogant scoff. Be friends with that miserable cow? Of course not. I'm courting her to learn her secrets, but it's a constant struggle not to push her into her place. Baphomet's minions are far too bold here in Alushinyrra. Tell me about these crystals you're so interested in. You haven't heard of Nahindrian crystals? Ha! Are all Golarians so stupid and unobservant? They are purple crystals. Possessing them grants immense power. Unfortunately, only high-ranking servants of Baphomet know where to find them or how to use them. They use the crystals to gain tremendous power, and now they strut around Alushinyrra like they own the place. Why should I look for Cyphorian? When I first heard about the crystals, it reminded me of the last days of Cyphorian's rule. It was Nocticula's right hand before me. By the way, we're going to do this quest line. It sounds interesting, but of course we're not giving her, in the end, the crystal. He was plotting a coup, and I was spying on him to turn him into Nocticula and take his position. I remember that he was trying to get his hands on a purple crystal of some kind, and that he eventually succeeded. I didn't pay much attention at the time, but the current situation makes me think perhaps it was a Nahindrian crystal he was after. If so, Cyphorian might know something about them. Interesting. If he was Nocticula's right hand and he'd planned a coup, it's interesting that he still lives. But then again, torment is apparently preferred here in Alushinyrra than just, well, death. Where should I look for Cyphorian? There's a note of disgust in Shamira's voice in the depth. If he's still alive, the gravity of Nocticula's punishment would have dragged him to the very bottom of Alushinyrra. Dig through the garbage, talk to the vagrants and beggars. You surely don't expect me to do it, do you? Why did you choose me for this mission? Shamira answers with an exasperated sigh. Because you are neither a demon nor a resident of Alushinyrra. You're a wild card, an insignificant Golarian. No one is interested in your exploits, and you will not draw any unnecessary attention. You are not bound in service to any demon, and therefore, if you dig up any information, you will bring it to the one who will pay you the most for it, that is to say, me. You won't run to your master because you don't have one, at least not here in the Abyss. If I give this task to any of my servants, I'm sure of only one thing. They would sell information about my interests to my enemies, and then, if they learned anything about the crystals, they would use this information to benefit themselves instead of bringing it to me. Purple stone knife. Should we? I have to go. Wait, what happens if we show her the knife? Saving. Let's see. Perhaps you find this interesting. Words of the hand of the inheritor reverberate sternly inside your mind. This blade served you well in your fight against the corruption that tainted the Wardstone. It has proven that its plain appearance does not match the power hiding within. If Shamira sees its power, she will desire it. Is it wise to tease her appetite and toy with her greed? Let's try. Show them the stone knife. Wait, I'll be keeping it. Okay, she stole the knife, of course. So we're not going to give it to her. That's why we save. Of course we wouldn't have. Yeah, that was stupid. And we're not going to do that. Alrighty, still going to initiate it, and now do not show the stone knife. Narrowing her eyes, Shamira closely examines your face, as if trying to read your thoughts. No. Okay, of course we're not giving her that important knife. What else do we have here? Alrighty, so we're not going to dive into any of the rest of the storyline going below. Oh, whoa, why is everything moving? You seeing that? What the heck? I want to go north now. Wait, is that just interesting? I beg you, kind sir, give me a moment of your time. Okay. A thin Aasimar, good breeding apparent in every line of his aristocratic face, addresses you. Greetings and welcome to this dismal place. My name is Latwerk, and I ask for your help. I beg you, show mercy, not toward me, but toward these young and innocent maidens. They are my wards, and they were unfortunate enough to be abducted by some demons. Sarenrae herself bestowed a revelation upon me, which prompted me to settle here and aid my brethren doomed to a dark and cruel fate. But my strength is all but gone. I swear it, I need assistance now more than ever. Aasimar women drift out of the house, standing like silent shadows behind Latwerk. The faces of many of the women are covered in scars, and their gazes are cold, as if numbed by suffering and despair. An Aasimar who lives freely in the abyss and just as freely performs good deeds. This may be the most suspicious activity I've yet seen in these parts. I have a few questions. I do not doubt this. You could hardly have expected to meet a member of my race in the abyss. Besides, the very nature of my calling, which is dictated by both altruism and compassion, must seem strange and unnatural in this place. I'm used to questions and will gladly provide whatever answers I can. How did you survive in this place? The Aasimar gives a stoic look. It isn't easy. My ancestry alone enrages demons and makes them want to try to do me harm. There have been numerous attempts on my life, and I have often tried to destroy the house where I shelter my wards. Nocticula's strict ban on harming visitors from other planes may protect me from the claws and blades of my malevolent neighbors, but it is powerless to keep them from spitting at my feet, scrawling profanities on the walls of my house, or endlessly plotting against me. What are you doing here? I had a revelation sent by the merciful Sarenrae. I realized I must descend to this grim place, and I bear witness to its countless terrors so that I might aid those in distress. When I first visited the flesh markets, I saw young women, my kin, locked up in cages. They had been abducted from a different plane and put up for sale like goods or livestock. So I immediately purchased their freedom and brought them here. I've been freeing Aasimar women who end up in Alushinyrra ever since. I wish I could do more. This place is teeming with tormented souls, but alas, there's a limit to my abilities, not to mention my financial means. Why do you help only women? Because they are weaker. Their refinement, innocence, and beauty make them an attractive target for derision and torment. At least a man can go down fighting when his patience runs out. Most of the young women I meet were denied this final escape from horror due to physical or spiritual weakness. I wish my Lady Iomide could hear these words. There's a small chuckle in the angel's voice. This mortal must be kind-hearted yet blind if he perceives spiritual weakness in those who often accomplish feats, both great and small, without a sword in hand, with nothing except passion and dedication. What happened to your wards? They survived truly monstrous abuses. The demons showed no mercy, subjecting these unsullied flowers to abuse and torture. Disgusted by their beauty and purity, the brutes trampled their innocence into the dirt. I tend to their physical wounds, but their hearts still bleed. They have withdrawn into themselves. They do not speak, not even to me. I hope one day I'll be able to return them to some semblance of a normal life and send them home. How may I be of assistance? I'm so glad you're willing to listen to me. The good gods must have engineered this encounter with one of my own kin. Here in the abyss, all of us who cherish our upper planes heritage must support one another. That's exactly what I wanted to discuss. Freeing enslaved Aasimars has become my trade, you see. These women are former captives whom I save from the monster's clutches, and I protect them to the best of my ability. But I've heard a new shipment of slaves is about to arrive in the flesh markets, and there's nothing I can do to break their shackles. Please do it in my stead. Please buy their freedom and send the women here. I can see that you are a traveler of means. A single act of kindness should not inconvenience you excessively, but will be forever indebted to your compassionate soul. Such a kind and general soul is a true rarity in the abyss. We ought to help him. Didn't we already buy those? Champion, not just to save the poor slave women, but also to strengthen his faith in the righteousness of the path he has chosen. How did the Aasimar women end up in the abyss? The abyss hungers for new slaves, so it sends countless raiding parties to other planes to stave off its cravings. These poor young women were captured on Golarion. I've never seen anything viler than those ruthless thrall hunters prowling in search of defenseless victims, sniffing out the weak to enslave, clamping collars around their necks. Where can I find these captives? As far as I know, the thrall hunters were hired by a slave trader named Dunk, a hideous demon utterly lacking in morals. I'm sure you'll find him at the flesh markets, gleefully counting the coins from selling his chattel. Isn't that the big guy? But we already bought slaves and sent them to our camp. Why don't you buy their freedom yourself? A man sighed and rolled up his hands. Alas, I simply cannot afford such an expense. My meager income is spent on buying the freedom of these poor souls. When demons see an Aasimar customer, they raise the price and conspire to keep me from purchasing anyone. In their eyes, the glee of thwarting me is worth the lost profits. Of course, the demons will try to deceive and humiliate you too, but let's put it this way. It will be much less harsh than in my case. My face is already too familiar around the slave market, and they know I'll stop at nothing to save these young ladies, but they don't know anything about you, so it'll be easier for you to get it done. Why did they bring these Aasimar women in the abyss? 2. It pains me to say this, but I can think of only 2 options, and both are equally terrible. Perhaps they will be sold to the 10,000 Delights, a filthy whorehouse where corrupt souls indulge in the most immoral and vulgar of pleasures. The other option is even worse. I've heard Shamira, the mistress of Alushinyrra, is a former celestial from the upper planes who once served Lady Sorendre. That partly explains Shamira's irrational hatred of Aasimars. They say she buys our kinfolk and takes them to her harem of ardent dreams, where she tortures them mercilessly. Before dining on their flesh, she's a monster. Fear her as you would plague and fire. I decided the Aasimar captors would be safer at my camp. The Aasimar appears doubtful. I am infinitely grateful that you freed those unfortunates, but you should have sent them to me. They survived a terrible shock, perhaps even abuse. They need a kinsman's care, someone who can understand them, listen to them, and try to heal the scars left by their ordeal. But I am kin. We are both Aasimar. I fear that eking out a meager existence in an army camp surrounded by gruff armed soldiers will only reopen their wounds. Well, then we need to talk to them. Wait, what? What did just happen? Incubus Butcher. The demons examine you, their gazes both... Ah, they teleported us here. Avaricious and imperious. Their leader, a misshapen demon whose facial features exhibit not even a passing acquaintance with symmetry, issues a commanding bark. Shut up, everyone, and get on the ground. On your stomachs. Turn out your pockets. Perhaps we will settle for taking your gold and spare your lives. But you, my sweet morsel, will be leaving with us in pieces. The demon grins malevolently at Latwerk. Oh, that dude. Behind the chatty demon, a huge Bavakia stares sleepily at his feet. A large, cloudy crystal sticks out of his chest. Several smaller crystals have broken through his skin in several places, like young saplings bursting forth from the earth's embrace. Did someone laugh? A slimy fringe of thick red saliva hangs from the monster's slack jaw. He gives a surprised snort, then grunts shyly at you. Who's that brute tagging along with you? This? Oh, this is here, our Gouger. We found him in the sewers below Alushinyrra, barely breathing. We were going to cut his throat, but he's so addled he's tame enough. And mighty strong. Someone must have scrambled his brains real hard. Now everybody knows not to screw with us, or we wake Gouger up and then they're done for. Demon glances at the Bavakia with mingled pride and wariness. He reminds me a bit, he looks like a pit lord in Warcraft. A bit like Manoroth. These wings and this centaur body, but with a real... I mean, what the... who are you? The demon with a lopsided face spits on the floor, then replies cockily. We're the best in the assassin guild. Mess with us and we'll mess you up. You're not assassins, you're just a common rebel. Succeeded. The demons lose their bravado and exchange nervous glances, taken aback by the steel in your voice. The leader of his band of misfits finally mutters in a shaky voice. Well, maybe not assassins per se, but it sounds more intimidating. Fools shit their pants when they hear it, so we don't even have to shank them, but You, sir, are no fool, that much I can see. Folks, let's not bother the nice gentleman. We'll just turn around and be on our merry way, then, shall we? The demon's tone takes on an air of groveling. By the time he's done speaking, he's practically pleading with you. Who sent you? We don't know her name. Everybody calls her Red Mask, because that's what she always wears. We have no idea who or what she is beneath the mask. She sits in the bad luck all day, guzzling booze like there's no tomorrow. Oh, the person that had a name we couldn't talk to. Who is this Red Mask? Damned if I know. Some kind of woman, definitely not a demon. She's one of yours, an outsider, but she's got an edge to her, and her mask is scary as anything. Should we bother killing them? I mean, if we check them now, they will awaken this one. Maybe we can save them, maybe we can't. Should we? I mean, they might... They're definitely a bunch of evil people. I think I will kill you after all. No, 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 don't hurt us. We got the hint. Let us get out of here. Interesting. Latwerk folds his hands in a gesture of prayer, wailing in utter despair. I beg you, please protect me. Unless she's stopped, Red Mask will get to me and even worse to my wards. I do not fear death, but these girls must not be hurt again. I cannot put an end to Red Mask's depravity, but you can. I appeal to your mercy. Find her and stop her once and for all. Who is this Red Mask? I haven't the slightest idea. No doubt some villain displeased by my attempts to save my kin from slavery. Perhaps a dark soul that revels in crime and the suffering it brings. I have never met this creature before. I'll deal with her. The Aasimar allows himself a weak smile. You have a generous and courageous heart. I will be praying for your success. Okay, that's it. Googling. Okay, nothing of interest. Okay, we can't touch anything here. Can we talk to him again? Ah. Oh. Perfect. We have a modification that unlocked other paths. By rescuing your kin, you break the laws of the abyss, and yet I cannot see the luminescence of your soul. What are you hiding? The Aasimar says nothing, clearly searching for the right words. I don't know what sort of luminescence you are referring to. All I can say is that I haven't always been what I am now. The former me would not be out of place among the beasts and monsters here. Not a single night passes that I don't remember the brutalities I committed before I was touched by Surrender's healing light. I didn't come here out of heroic motives, but selfish ones. I came to atone for my many sins. If my soul does not shine, it means I still have a long way to go. But one day... Could use a little help myself. Feel there is little I can do to help, but please accept this gift. You have a martial look about you, and I have no doubt you'll make good use of it. The man hands you a flask with a healing potion, then he hides his hands behind his back to show he does not expect payment for his generosity and would refuse it if offered. Okay. Interesting. This entire part of the city is moving. Very interesting. Well, I don't need it right now. I still want to go here. Okay, let's see. Lore, religion. Symbols inscribed on the wall belong to the language of the Titans, the first creation of the gods and themselves, the creator of the sinister demodans. Interesting. That's the second that we found. What happens? What do we have to put in there? Okay, so we're done here and we can finally go to this other part of the city. Interesting. Okay.
Is that a trap? It might be a trap.
Wait, does the other one lead to? Oh, up. Oh, we don't need that up. Right now we just need a slight up.
A trivial task. Ha! A trivial task. That was easy.
The inhabitants of Alushinyrra seem to enjoy the abundance of love around them. Demons are not immune to fire, they just like to live close to such a destructive element. Did they just kill someone? Demon model. Uh-oh, stringy demon. What, we're getting hassled by mortals now? This place has gone to the gods. Slit his throats, we don't need witnesses. Oh, they killed several. There's another dead one. Wonder what happened here. The Netotic Titan's minor rune. A mysterious rune inscribed in the language of the Tetanototic Titans. What the heck? What can I do with such an item? Drop info. Okay.
We do it my way.
The forbidden fantasies will all come true in the 10,000 Delights. Oh, that's the entrance to the 10,000 Delights. Huh? Well, let's discover the rest of this place before we go in there. Tough Baylor. Oh, I see. We just found another entrance to this area.
Follow if you dare.
Interesting. I guess here we can go into the upper city. Yes, that's the entrance to the upper city. Well, let's continue playing below here. Let's see what the guards have to say. Aiomide, goddess, hear me. Let me shed your light on these dark lands. Guide my sword against evil. This must be that crazy mortal we heard about. It's our lucky day. The Echo of Tiscari will pay fresh souls for all of Iomide's lackeys. Merilith. Bait. Oh, hey, immortal. Your prayers aren't going to work here. No one will answer. Barangua stands up and gives you a wink. Believe it or not, demon, my prayer has already been heard.
Do not waver.
Well done.
Surrender, or else!
These hunters were definitely sent by the Echo of Tiscari. Maybe they have something that will lead us to him. The Rangura wipes the sweat from his brow. Tired? Physically, yes, but my soul is at rest. The old paladin pauses. You know, I used to wonder if we were slowly becoming demons ourselves. The things that happened in Mendev during the Third Crusade, and afterward it looked so much like the evil we were called to fight. But I've seen true evil here in the Abyss, and somehow that brings me peace. We're nothing like demons, and now I know that I've been right to spend my life keeping all of this. Gestures broadly out of my world, and that marks the end of our episode.